Hi. I do not have slides for today, mostly because I kind of just wanted to talk. So, first, I had no idea that I was the last live event that you guys hosted. And what is so cool about that for me is that um, I walked away from that night just so inspired by the people that I met and so inspired by you three for hosting such a cool event. But just like the feedback and the comments and the engagement was really incredible. And it actually changed a lot of things for me as well. And so to think that that I get to be here in the anniversary event for a night that really had a massive impact on me and I hope like it sounds like had an impact on lots of people is just a really cool way to celebrate the end of 2020. So I was really excited. Philly asked me to come speak at this I don't know, a couple months ago. And at first when she said, oh, it's to share the best advice you've ever received, I thought, oh, this is easy, right? I got loads of advice. I love advice. And then I started to think about it and the weight of it hit me a little bit. I'll be honest. I thought, oh my gosh, I've received loads of really incredible advice over my career. And how can I share just one? How can I, and I sort of hemmed and hawed and I sort of realized that advice for me has really resonated in different phases of my life. Like when I was a kid, the thing that I keep remembering hearing is don't sit down until all the work is done, right? It was my dad saying this. And that just meant like, help your brother, help do the dishes, make sure that you're thinking about your community. Don't just rest when your bit is done. And when I was in my 20s, it was about really thinking through, the advice that resonated with me was around like having control over my life choices and being happy. And now that I'm in my 40s, and we've been going through this really incredible year. The things that are resonating with me are a little bit different, and so I wanted to share those. And much like you might have heard me talk about before, I love practical things. I love actionable things. I relate to that kind of thing. So I've got two of them for you. I will try to get through them. But the first one is have positive intent. Approach life with positive intent. This sounds super, super simple when you think about it, just like, yeah, of course, like you want to think the best of people as you go in. And many of you guys are coaches, and this is sort of a core tenet of coaching. But it's actually really hard to implement. And it's really hard to implement in a moment when you're feeling frustrated or in those super emotional times, or, it's hard. And what I've discovered at this sort of assume with positive intent or approach with positive intent, it's really important because when you do it well, right? When you think positively about the people that you're interacting with, you connect better with them. You're more curious about them. You are open. You're willing to engage. You're collaborative. You're building a relationship, right? You're helping them understand that you really believe in them and you really want to connect. And it really allows you to work better with people. And it really impacts like my relationship with my children and my relationship with my husband and my relationship with my colleagues. So I was really keen to take this advice to heart, and I thought, how am I going to learn how to do this really well? And a friend, actually a mutual friend of Philly and mine, gave me this trick, and I love this trick. He says, every time that you get into that situation where you've got that negative energy happening, right? You think, oh, why did that person cut me off in traffic? Or why did that person say it like that in that meeting? Why is that happening? He goes, try to tell yourself another story. So I made a game of it, actually. And I try to figure out as many stories as I possibly can about what I think that might have happened. So, for example, I'm in a meeting and someone interrupts me, and I think, oh, so rude, and I catch myself, right? I catch myself going, oh, and I think, you know what? Maybe they were just as nervous as I was, and they wanted to speak, or maybe they like got distracted for a second and didn't realize I was talking, or maybe they didn't, and I literally make it a game. Can I come up with as many ways to tell a different story as possible? And I have found, and I've been really practicing this, right? I've been practicing. And I found that over the year, it's like a muscle. And the more that I practice, the more I'm naturally able to do it. and it's remarkable. It has changed my entire approach to so many things, and it allows me to really consider someone else's point of view. It opens up more empathy in me, and I have found it to be such a remarkable shift, especially in a time when people need more empathy than ever right now, as we're struggling with lockdowns. It's just been a remarkable thing. So my tip there, my hack, my advice is assume positive intent and practice it like it's a muscle. And you can make a game, you can do it, and it's life changing. And then the second thing I wanted to share, because we are approaching the end of the year, and we're approaching the end of a really, really hard year. And this is the time when people start to make some big resolutions, and they think about the way they want things to be different. And, maybe for you, it's going to the gym, and for someone else, it's reading more books, or it's giving a public speaking, or doing a public speech, which is actually mine last year. All these things, right? And we typically want to do these big, remarkable, revolutionary things because it feels good. It feels good to have great, big goals. And so the advice someone had given me, and I actually had stumbled across this advice in Reddit of all places. I'm sorry to admit, but it's totally true. And it was about having a non-zero day. And there was something about this non-zero day that really hit me. And you can I'm happy to send the link out later with Philly, but it's this idea that, like, commit to yourself to do one little thing every day towards your goal, towards your dream, right? And that one little thing, let's say you want to build your social media presence. That one little thing might be as simple as literally retweeting something, or it might be writing one post if that's too much. I don't know, whatever the thing. It's doing 5 squats if it's exercise. It's doing a sit-up. It's one little commitment that you make to yourself every day, and then you forgive yourself if you mess up, and you try again. And then you try again, and you try again. And I was really intrigued by this, such a simple, lovely thing, that I kind of did some research, and it turns out real change, lasting change, happens in little bits consistently over time, right? And science backs this up. There's been so many other lovely stories about people that have made these small changes, and over time they blossom into something like really, really incredible for you. And I think Dima in the last video also talked about, like, she made one little change and she did it again, and then she tried again, and I have found this to be really impactful for me, and it's allowed me to continue to grow and pursue dreams that I would like to pursue. So in my 40s, in this crazy COVID year, those are the 2 best pieces of advice that I've heard, and hopefully that will take us into 2021 in a much better mood. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I just have one question for you, actually, on your, do your one thing a day. So you mentioned, like, whether it's one sit up a day. Does getting out of bed count?
It counts.
Awesome.
It counts. Some days it really counts. Absolutely. And then you say thank you, and you're grateful to yourself. You're kind to yourself, right? You do it again, and it's a really great cycle to get yourself into.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.